I gotta take a shop vac to the back here in Lake Minnewaska, because it just gets some water built up in here. So I'm gonna vacuum that out real quick, just because it's bothering me. I might cut the carpet out, because that's yeah, probably worth taking a look at what's going on over here. All right, borrowed one of those, ready to go. Sorry for the noise, but it's Wendy's anyway, so cue the music. All right, that's pretty clean. Cleaner. There's no more water in it. Still full of rust, still stinks. Car's still a little messy there, bud. Let's see if I give it a little visual aid. You see how just how crazy that, oh, roof light. So I gotta vacuum all that off. Not gonna do that today. I'm gonna do that next, but not today. Move over this machine here now into the side bucket. Maneuver, pivot, pivot. All right, stick the sucker later where it should go, and cue the music. 5 days later, and the water in here froze, so I'm trying to vacuum it out, but it's all just frozen pieces of rusty ice. I'm debating if I should just cut the carpet out right here altogether to see what the floor looks like. It's all wet and it's all filled with water still, so I think that's what I'm gonna do, is maybe cut the carpet. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe on a warmer day it won't fill back up. This didn't fill back up, this compartment here. But yeah, just gonna clear out all the garbage. Okay, I'm on my third order for tumblers for the ignition lock. Ordered 2 different kinds of GM tumblers, whatever they're called, on eBay. They say that they had arrived, but can't find them anywhere. So then I went to Amazon, ordered the same locks. Should be here sometime in the next few days. So once I get it cleaned up, probably gonna work on the ignition just to get that, because if I just pull the tumbler out, I could start it with a screwdriver. It should run. I don't see why not. I mean, obviously we'll pull the tires off, check the brakes. I think it's got a bad tie rod. Maybe we'll do some steering work on it before we drive it, but for now we're just gonna clean it out. I'm just gonna get it all cleaned out and then see if I can get the ignition open so that I can start it. All right, got the cover off of Baby Blue. Guess that's what I'm gonna be calling it for right now. Is that the name? I don't know. So I'm calling this Baby Blue. It's not so bad. I mean, like, I'm not mad about the way it looks inside. I think it'll actually clean up quite nice, if it does clean up. But today, we're trying to knock out, get this whole thing vacuumed out, get all of this removed, pull the full headliner, and make a mess all over again. But that should be the fun part. That's what I love about old vehicles. This thing's an 88. This is the back seat. There's an ashtray in it. So stuff your kids, stuff your grandma in the back seat, smoke a cigarette while they go. And this window, I believe, does roll down. I don't know where yet. I haven't found a switch. It's real. I mean, clearly it's not controlled by anything back here, unless I'm wrong about that, which, knowing me, usually wrong. But headliner is out, getting cleaned up. Flash rust, CT style. Got a wad of stuff to go through over here. I mean, it's doing a great job, isn't it? That pump, that shop vac, something else. Might as well clean this part up because you're gonna drop them. Still got a little bit left on the ceiling to do. Not a whole lot. It'll get done in the next minute. And then I'll take a seat, little less noise. We'll go through the glove compartment, or what I've shoved back in the glove compartment, and really get a good assessment of how long this thing's parked. I mean, really easy to tell from back here. February 2006. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this thing's been parked since then, just based on its lack of rust, which is awesome. I mean, it's got rust in places that are a little concerning. With this one, not so bad. I walked into my warehouse, told my guy, I'm like, man, when I die from cancer, at least I'm gonna know why. Breathing in all this asbestos or whatever shit they have for the foam. Not the first time. Definitely not gonna be the last time. Oh, that opens nice. All right, here goes to sitting in it. Hope it doesn't fall off the jack stands, right? What's an extra 300 pounds? Oh, she feels mint. Throttle's not stuck, at least not completely stuck. That's cool. Let me see that real quick. Have a look at that. Have a look-see. Let's see, how close can I get you in? Hey, change the light a little bit. Is that better? All right, what do we got? We got our speedometer here. 8,415 clicks on it. That's definitely rolled over at least once. But based on the seat and the floors in this, I'd say this has got about 108,000. Quarter tank of fuel. Light switches over here. Lights, interior lights. Ooh, that should be the tail control, huh? Look at that. Look at that. Oh no, it's over here. Over here. Window up and down. That's awesome. Once you get a battery in it. You know, I bought my 84 Pontiac just because it had one of these. This exact lighter. Well, now we got it.
I wish it was a feature they still had.
Yeah, they don't put those in cars anymore. Got a little bit of radio, rear defrost. It is an AC car. Hot and cold. Well, right now, just cold. Treble, that's cool. I bet this radio still works. The cop signal, the rear view. Oh, that fell off. That's okay. And let's dig into this pile. So some of it was out on the floor. I'm sure you'll see in the video. I stuffed it back in here while we're cleaning. And just a couple of things I found. Well, I bet this Orbit's still good. A little bit of Orbit here. What do we got here? We got the Caprice Owner's Manual, 1988 Chevy Caprice. Map of Boston. Yeah, AAA. What else do we got here? The 1988 warranty and owner information. So this car was sold to a second owner in 88. I don't know what year he bought it. Vehicle identification, 11/23/88. Well, that's cool. I'm just gonna put that face down. What do we got here? Auto tech service. Let's see, changed oil and put oil filter, 10 bucks. Diagnosed, found need to leave car overnight, could not duplicate black smoke, comes from back on car when it starts. Huh, so it smokes a little bit when it starts. Interesting. Rear window, inspected wiper operation, this time no knocking noise was heard. Replace wheel bearings. They did the bearings and seals on this, 245 bucks. What's the date on it? Let's find the date. The total of the bill was $496.07. And this was done 8/11/2000. So August 11th, 2000. What do we got here? Map of Baltimore. So the vehicle's been to Baltimore before. I already saw Brooklyn here, so I know this is a map of, oh wow, New England. An entire southern New England map. Back in the day, you used to have to use these. You know, most of the kids these days don't know how to read a map or what a map really looks like outside of Google Maps. But growing up, man, I've driven through New York City with one of these maps, a Rand McNally. I used to do MapQuest if I needed it, and it was cool, but I'm an old school map guy. You just give me a map and say, go here on the dot, and I'll find my way. Let's see, what is this in here for? I wonder why he kept on to this. All right. Friday, this is a New York Times article or paper from October 18th, 1991. Advertising a beautiful Lexus here. Maybe he kept it for this. Curb on trial, lawyers talk raises fairness issue. Question on ethics of a new judge. Was this guy a lawyer? Quarterbacks dissect failed by Thomas. Monday morning quarterbacks. John Gotti. This is during the Gotti trials. Shell Automotive. Yeah, got the oil changed. Wow, he must have been driving this a lot, because on this invoice here he changed the oil, right? And that's August 11th, and July 30th he did an oil change. Motor oil, oil filter, $18.76 total. Wow, just a different time in this world. Fuel filter, I'm gonna say that maybe it needs a fuel filter. I think this thing has been sitting now for 20 years, and it wasn't outside because, I mean, just look, the dash isn't cracked up. Well, it's got one crack. I feel like they all crack right here, but the dash is in good condition. What do we got here? Oh, that's just blowing in the wind. This was a 2002 DMV sticker right here, emission sticker. But look at the interior on this. It's just pert near mint. Very nice. So I have to take this steering wheel, which I've never done before, but there'll be a YouTube tutorial on that, and you know, a couple of mistakes later, and maybe we just never put the horn back on and go to a chain. We'll get this ignition freed up. That way I can throw a battery in it and start it. But I think before we do any of that, since I am waiting on this, you know, I ordered the ignition tumbler. Pull this out, we'll switch that. A little bit of light rusting on the shift column. This is exactly what I had in my Pontiac. It's awesome. It feels the same way. The seat's so comfortable. I guess we're gonna pop the hood and see if the motor's stuck, because if it has been sitting for 16 years, there's a chance of it. So I keep this trusty Craftsman set in the truck in case I got to change anything on the fly. It's not a mechanic set, it's not a good set, it's just a set I picked up at Lowe's or Home Depot just to have it. And I don't have a socket here big enough to get on the alternator, but I got some gorilla hands, some fat man hands. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just put some pressure on the belt. I'm gonna grab the alternator, and we're gonna see if we can turn that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I had the right size socket for that, it would turn over no problem. I got a couple cranks on it, nothing too big. It could be locked somewhere, but that's good enough for me. So we got a free motor, all the fluids in the car. The interior is gorgeous minus the headliner. And yeah, I'm happy about this. This was a good one. You know, the story with how I found the car is somebody gave me a call, said, hey, you know, this guy's got these cars, he wants to get rid of them. We go over to this guy's house. It's like, yeah, I got a couple of cars. He tried selling me on some newer stuff. Gave me the backstory on it, that this car has been parked for a long time in a garage. The owner passed away. He bought the property, got the titles to the cars, wants to get rid of them. So this car came without keys, came with a title, no keys, which I guess having the title is the important part. And the keys will just have to work around that, put new ignition locks and whatnot. Obviously, I have no idea what's gonna happen. Talking out of my ass right here saying, oh, it's a good car. Looks like a good car, could be a good car, probably is a good car. No idea if it is or isn't. Happy to see that it's got all the pieces, you know, literally all the emission controls here, just to save on the planet a little bit. A little condenser here and a little evaporator over here, and a little more condensers and evaporators and whatnot. So this should be interesting. This should be very interesting. I'd say my Pontiac was the exact same car, but missing all the emissions by the time I bought it. I bought that one in a Walmart parking lot in Iowa. Don't need emissions where we're going. So the last question, and probably I shouldn't jinx it, but it's kind of like, you know, it's good to know what you're getting into. Is this master cylinder looks like it's been replaced on. Lines up here don't look so bad. So let's see if it's got any brake fluid in it. And it has some brake fluid in it. Some brake fluid, not a lot. It definitely is gonna need a brake line when we get there. Okay, maybe we'll just refill it and let it just psss out a little bit. Welcome. We are now in our second week of trying to get this project done. It's really cold. Some would say it's colder than a witch's tit. What's up, guys? So, got the steering wheel off. Realized that I had used the wrong set of tools. So I had my pulley remover, which got the steering wheel off no problem, but I need to see if I turn this here. I need to compress the steering wheel in, and I know I'm not giving you the best angle, but to see there's a little clip in there I got to take off. But yeah, let's now that I have the right Harbor Freight tool, because that's what I do, I just buy tools from Harbor Freight, and now that I have that, I should be able to just go ahead. Which one of these do you think will do it? I think it's this guy. That does work. All right, so you thread this on nice and tight. Not tight, but just thread it on. I know that the clip is on the bottom, so let's go ahead, drop the washer. Okay, and what size What size? Should I just use a pair of pliers? All right, this we got it in a place where we could work on it. Oh, that's how I should do it. So this lock ring in here, I keep thinking, how do I pull this thing off? And I'm like, well, that's not gonna make any sense. It's gonna break. Then I could just slide it up over the tool and that's it. Done. That was 10 minutes I'm never gonna get back. Something tells me I'm gonna need this again. So I'm not even gonna bother taking this lock ring off. I'm gonna leave this down here. All the other tools I'm gonna need to put this back with. So I'll just put that up there. Oh, well, do you think I dinged it up a little bit? I think so. But I think it'll still work, so that's good. Here we go. There she goes, boys. What do we got? What do we got holding us back? We got wiring, that's for sure what it is. Is there a screw that I'm missing here? What am I missing here? Am I missing something? The point. The end of the joke. After a couple minutes of trying, we have the old ignition switch out, which I believe sat just like that. We have our new ignition switch somewhere here in this mess that hopefully will replace the old one. Woo, baby, they look the same. All right, let's give it a shot. And that would sit just like this. Oh. All right, let's try to get this all back together while I still remember how to do it. Welcome to the channel. Why do I have an announcer voice on? I don't know. It's Thursday. I'm in week 3 of getting this car, this 1988 Caprice Classic Wagon, prepared for its first start since 2006. I brought the essentials: ratchet set, jump starter, what is that called, a battery pack? A battery. It's the same battery that was in it, but it has juice. So I let it sit on the trickle charger overnight, see what happens, and then I figure a 50-50 mix. This is what we'll need. So let's get cover off it. You can see it snowed last night, so we'll whip this off real quick and throw the battery in. And if that doesn't crank it over, we'll add the instant power, a little bit of True Fuel, and see if it'll fire off. So just get a little bit of lubrication going on this bad girl. It's all right if you cover the entire car with this, because I mean, it's just been sitting so long. Gotta lube it up somehow. So we got the drinker side. Let's do the driver side, or the I only had 1.5 drinks, so I'm good to drive home side. That'll do. That'll probably catch fire when I go to start it. All right, so I got the battery tightened on. I didn't hear anything, so I'm assuming that this battery is just completely dead. So I put the key in it. It doesn't seem like it did anything at all, which who would have thought that a 15-year-old dead battery wouldn't hold any charge. What's up, folks? Cameraman here, and I'm Stuntman. Shout out to Neutral Drop, love that channel. That battery's junk. Junk? Good. How do I know that battery's good? I stole it out of the truck. So if I want to drive home today, I need to put that battery home. And I do have, I could have converted it. I have a good top post. I could have converted it to a top post just now. But that was more work than I'm interested in Friday afternoon. I want to go home, but I do want to hear this thing run. So what am I going to do is, let's make it run, right? It should run. Why shouldn't it run? Let's get this air cleaner off of here somehow or other. Comes right off. Let's pull, come on. Don't fight with me. Oh, mouse droppings. Love mouse droppings. Let's lift this up. Oh, I gotta disconnect this. Gotta disconnect that. Why do I gotta disconnect? I don't want to do anything. Quadrajet. Love me a good quadrajet. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. I'm not used to working on a car that has all the accoutrements like this. You know, where it's got like this piece. I don't know what that is. Or it's got that piece. I don't know what that is. Let me pass this camera off. Let me figure out how to get this off. Vacuum line, probably need that. You know what? How do you stop mouse poop from going inside? Throw an air cleaner on it. It won't fly in that way. Let's just dump some fuel in it. I'm sure if I dump some inside of here, that's a good amount. Too much. And some over here. Listen, is that the right way to pour gas down a carburetor? Probably not. Is it the way I just did? Yes, it is. Is it gonna work? Let's go find out. Well, it fired. It does run. It blows shit everywhere. It didn't blow the belts off of it. It's not locked up. But it didn't run very long. It backfired twice through the carburetor over here. So what a guy's gonna go ahead and do is dump even more fuel in it and see if that works. Because I mean, well, why wouldn't like 6 ounces of gas just... Was that too much? In all seriousness, I'm goofing around. I should have one of those squirter bottles for it. I checked the gas tank and it's empty. Tried to siphon it out. Couldn't get anything out of it. Knocked on it. It's plumb empty. Remember, this car's been sitting for 15 years now. So the fact that it fired off like that, I got a lot of hope for this thing already. It's got more gas in it, a ton of more gas in it. Let's go see if it fires again. All right. It's idling on its own. It sounds like it's pulling gas from the gas tank now, but I'm using my patented add fuel by just letting it add it itself. Oh, she's coming around. Little bit of noise up top, but really not so bad. This thing runs great. Very excited about this. Maybe a little bit too much gas right there, probably. We're gonna have to address the crushed exhaust pipe, but man, as Peg would say in old zip ties and bias plies, I don't want to run it much longer if this is pulling gas from the gas tank, so let's just go ahead and cut it right there. It's not even making any noise. It doesn't want to run for too long. I can imagine why. It needs a better fuel supply. I probably should go ahead and pull the spark plugs, even though I probably won't and don't need to. But there we have it. Car's been parked for 15 years, since 2006. It's probably been run a few times between now and then, but with the gas tank plumb empty, it's a good chance it's been sitting for a decade. A little bit of starting fluid, True Fuel 50 to 1, fires right off. Minimal work into it. I think this is going to become a guy's daily driver. Anyways, I think I'm going to conclude the video here. Now that we know that it will start, a lot of hope for it. It doesn't run yet, so that'll be the next video. We'll make it run, we'll put gas in it, we'll get it back on its own 2 feet, maybe we'll do the brakes on it. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Super excited, also fumigated. I'm lightheaded from all the fuel and smoke that's just hanging around this area. Thanks again. See you later.